Okay, I'm getting started with Thanksgiving dinner on the stove. This is the way I'm going to do it here. I've got potatoes that I've diced up and I've put in a pan. I've soaked them in water just to let some of the starch out of them in the refrigerator. I've got a turkey breast, big turkey breast roast here, and I've got cranberries over here. I've got the flame on really pretty low, and basically I'm just going to take and put some kosher salt on, just a little bit on the turkey, just a little bit, and the flame is going to basically sear the outside of the turkey just a little bit to hold the juice in, because once it's been covered over, that's going to allow the flavors to, the heat to do the same thing that it would do if I were to actually make a turkey in the oven the conventional way. Okay, well, it required 2 hands to do it, but I had to grind some black pepper over the turkey, and I've added rosemary, some Italian seasoning, oregano, and gave it kind of a general coating over the top, so that when I flip the turkey over several times while the cover is off, it'll allow it to give it a flavor that it will kind of hopefully soak into it, sort of. And using a spatula, I just kind of flip it over. It's kind of hard to do with holding the phone with one hand, but do it like that. And it sears it. It sears it on the bottom. And then I'm going to cover it after I slide it around a bit to get some of the herbs on it. Like that. And just some extra VEOO, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on it in the pan. That'll help keep it from getting seared to the pan. Even though I'm using a high quality non-stick surface, it's actually infused into the steel. Well, I like to use this extra virgin olive oil aerosol because it has the flavor of the oil in it, but it's also, I can put stuff on very lightly, so I don't have to really, pour it on. I did put a little bit in the pan here, but I can actually spray it on the potatoes and just give them a very light coating all over very evenly like that. It works really well. Follow it up well with a bunch of kosher salt, but potatoes absorb salt like a sponge, so it's really easy to oversalt potatoes, and it's really not necessary. That comes after, actually, when you turn around to eat them. All right, so I've added a little bit of garlic powder, some oregano flakes, kosher salt, some really good quality cracked black peppercorns to the potatoes, along with a little bit of basil. I put just a little tiny bit of liquid mesquite smoke on the turkey and in the pan also, to help give it some of a roasted wood smoked quality to it. It works actually really well. It's kind of a good trick to do, especially if you make steaks or any kind of chicken or anything like that on a stovetop, and it also works with turkey. This is some really excellent stuff. It's Stubbs Mesquite Barbecue Liquid Smoke. It's fantastic. Okay, the potatoes are now going, and I've added just a little tiny bit of Lowry seasoning salt to them. So I'm going to cover those over, and I'm going to also just sear them just a little bit and reduce the heat down after flipping them over a bunch. Oops. Okay, then I'll reduce the heat after there's got enough space in there, and put the cover back on. And of course, make sure that anytime that you handle turkey, and then so you don't cross-contaminate anything, that everything is thoroughly rinsed in hot water. Absolutely, totally, perfectly, thoroughly rinsed. The knife, the surface, everything. And sanitize the countertop, of course, but I don't really have to do that this time because the turkey breast that I got came inside of a plastic bag, and all I had to do was cut the end of it and just empty it right into the roasting pan. And that was really, really terrific, you know. So that's just a little safety thing, you know, and not really necessary, but I just thought I'd throw it in there. Now it's necessary to rotate the turkey about every 5 or 10 minutes in the pan. You know, make sure it's also thoroughly covered in between the whole time so that it can retain the heat. Okay, so to get the cranberries going, all I am going to do is take a little bit of sugar and pour it in there like that. I'm going to add orange juice to it. Okay, the potatoes are just about done because some of them I can knife them a bit with the spatula, and if I need to, I can always do them the rest of the way in the microwave. And I have to reduce the heat on the cranberries, but they're now finally coming along. They're breaking down, and I'm going to add a little bit of sugar to them, just a little bit more, and then reduce the heat on them after I stir it around a little bit more. I've transferred the turkey to a smaller burner on low heat, just so it can just sit there and the heat alone can cook it. Alright, now for the green beans, and I cut the ends off, most of them, just pretty much all of them. Going to use this extra virgin olive oil aerosol again and just give them a quick deal like that. This was the pan that I used the potatoes with, and I am going to grind some black pepper and add just a little bit of kosher salt, and that's about it. That's all they need. I might give them a dash of Worcestershire sauce. And I'm not going to cover these. I'm just going to hit them real quick. And I'm going to actually put these in the microwave as well, because a lot of this stuff, you can do it in the microwave. These come out great in the microwave, but you want to give these kind of a roasted quality to them. And the microwave is a great friend to have because I use it for everything. I make rice in it. I make a lot of stuff. I also use my toaster oven. I've got a nice large toaster oven. I make French fries in it. Man, just about everything. I love it. The cranberries have been pulled from the heat and they're just sitting there cooling off. So they've thickened up nicely. You can also put soy sauce on these because soy is a vegetable-based salt product, and it also has a wonderful flavor, and of course it goes really well being soy is a bean and these are beans, so hey, that's awesome. Works awesome. And so far this entire meal has taken only these 3 cooking pots. Alright, on to the sauteed mushrooms. I've diced up some mushrooms and put them in the pot there. And I'm going to put some EVOO on them with some kosher salt, Worcestershire sauce, and some butter in there. That's about it right there. Not a terrible amount, just about that much on there. Give it put about that much in there, like that. I got quite a bit of mushrooms in here though. Now what I could do is I could go the route and use a buttered flavored salt. Now I use this stuff called Flavacol, which is a salt that is put on popcorn at theaters. I have it right now in a popcorn salt jar, but actually it's this yellow quality salt, and it has a butter flavor to it. And it's a good way to give it a butter flavor and salt it at the same time if you want to avoid using actual real butter. But I don't like using margarine. All that is an oil, and I actually really love to use a real good quality salted butter for just about everything. But I'm not really much of a dairy fan outside of that. So I'm going to put in some red wine vinegar, just a little bit of it, instead, in place of cooking wine, which I don't have right now. So I'm just going to throw some of that in. And it's really tart stuff, so it'll actually give it a wine essence to the mushrooms. It doesn't have to have a whole lot of it in there either. These are going to let go of a lot of moisture that they've got in them. So I'm going to do this for a little while with the lid off, and then put the lid on and reduce the heat some. And then they'll become nice and tender. They'll also reduce in size quite a bit. The turkey's finally reaching an internal temperature now, so that's why it's releasing its juice now, and it's starting to fill the pan, which is great because now I don't have to worry about having to turn it all the time. And now I can just let it sit there in its own juice, literally. It's on my smallest burner on very, very low heat. When the tops on the mushrooms close up and shrink like that, they are done and you can remove them from the heat. Hey, that's great. So the potatoes and the green beans and the mushrooms are all now done and ready to be plated and preheated with the turkey. All right, the probe gives me a reading of 183 degrees, so I believe it's done. The turkey came out of the pan. I placed it on this fast food tray, basically, which is an excellent cutting board because it's nylon and you can cut away on it forever. And the food doesn't come off the cutting board because it's retained by these ridges along it, see? So the turkey's going to let it just sit there and rest for a bit. Then I'm going to take the tailings from the pan. I added a little bit of water to it. I'm going to put in some soy sauce in that, just a tiny bit, and a little bit of au jus gravy mix because for some reason I can't find any cornstarch or flour around here. But that, just a little tiny bit, just enough to thicken it. But that's all I want. I really want it kind of runny. And I'm going to run it through a strainer, this thing here, and to take all the rosemary out of it. Well, range top Thanksgiving dinner in 90 minutes with 3 pots. Not too bad. I never did that before, and I'm going to try it out now. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Have a wonderful holiday.